So let's talk some Nigerian women's football. On today's video, we're going to be talking about a couple of things. The FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup draw that went down yesterday night. And we also finally have a date being set for the 2024 Women's AFCON. We're going to be talking about those two topics right here. But before that, please make sure to like this video, really important, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you very much. So yeah, the Flamingos of Nigeria. We're going to be talking about the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup draw first. It went down in the Dominican Republic. Of course, Dominican Republic hosting the competition. The Flamingos got into the competition after getting past Central African Republic, Burkina Faso, and Liberia. The competition is going to be hosted from October the 16th to November the 3rd. And as far as how we landed in the draw, the Flamingos were grouped in Group A alongside the host of the competition. So when you look at the pots right here, pot 1, that has Dominican Republic, so they went first. And for pot 2, we got New Zealand. And you see in pot 2, you got Brazil, USA, Mexico, and New Zealand. New Zealand was the team brought out of that pot. Then pot 3, of course, Nigeria got in there. And for pot 4, we got Ecuador. So in my opinion, it looks like a real, I wouldn't say real easy out of respect for the other teams. But I mean, when you look at the teams that are in our group, you have Dominican Republic, their first ever appearance in this competition. Of course, you're the host of the competition, so you didn't really qualify for this. You just are the host, so you're going to be there. Then you got Ecuador, another team making a debut in this competition. They finished 3rd in the South American Under-17 women's competition. To get here, you got New Zealand. They've been to all the editions of the Under-17 Women's World Cup, but we faced them at the last World Cup, and with all due respect, it was light work. So I mean, this group right here, you just got to keep yourself leveled when you see a group like this, because I mean, the human reaction is just to say you got a real easy group. You got 9 points in the bag, but this is where you got to be professional. This is where you got to remain level-headed, and you got to keep preparing and prepare like you're facing the best teams in this competition. Because if you go into the competition just feeling like, okay, we got this cakewalk and we're not going to really, put too much energy until the next round, you might just not get the results you're looking for. So yeah, but that being said, just as a fan, just as somebody looking on the outside, this is probably the best group that the Flamingos would hope for. I don't think there's any group as sweet as this one right here. Like I said, 2 teams making their debut, a team that you faced in the last competition and you just completely just whitewashed in the last competition. Of course, this is a different team. You're not expecting most of the players from the last set to be in this set, maybe 1 or 2 just like us. But at the same time, yeah, I don't know. I can't really tell y'all that this is a tough group. I'll be lying. This is like as good as it gets for the Flamingos. You look at the other groups. Group B got Spain, USA, Korea Republic, which is South Korea, and Colombia. And that's I feel like that's probably the toughest group in the competition. Spain, winners of the last edition. You got USA, always a competitor. Korea Republic, the same thing. Even Colombia, they had what was that girl's name from the last edition? Caicedo, Linda Caicedo. She played the under-17 and under-20s. And I don't know, do they have another Linda Caicedo? They did have a good team in general, but you have to see that was probably like one of their golden generations right there, and you wouldn't expect them to be that good next time. Then you got Group C, Korea Republic, Korea DPR, which is North Korea, Mexico, Kenya, and England. Another tougher group than our group, definitely. Korea DPR, 2 times champions of this competition. Really, really good side. They play some good football. I mean, people talk about tiki-taka. They play some real tiki-taka football when I used to watch them back then. I feel like Asian teams are trying to move to being more physical instead of being more finesse and just passing the ball around. But I expect them to come out playing good football. Mexico, England, of course, you know they're working. Kenya looked good in qualifications, knocked off some sides. So yeah, that's a pretty tough group right there. Then you got Group D, which has Japan, Poland, Brazil, and Zambia. Of course, we know what Japan brings to the table at every level, and probably expecting the same in this competition right here. Somebody was telling me about Poland. I don't know about that, but a European side, they made it into this competition. It's definitely not easy to qualify for a competition like this from Europe. When you think about representatives from Europe in a competition like this, you're always thinking Germany, you're thinking France. So if Poland can make it over teams like that, you gotta really look at them through the side eye and make sure you know where they're at, because they could really pull off a surprise, which might not really be a surprise. Like I said, they made it through a real tough competition. Then you got Brazil. Of course, they won the South American Under-17 competition. Another tough team. Zambia at all levels have been shown that, hey, we're here to stay as one of the top teams in Africa. So yeah, this group is also going to be interesting, but I think Group B remains the toughest group in my opinion. But let me know your thoughts on the Flamingos group. We're grouped alongside Dominican Republic, Ecuador, New Zealand. So let me know your thoughts. I feel like I wouldn't say a cakewalk, but it's something close. But moving on to the women's AFCON, finally get a date for the women's AFCON. A lot of talk about the women's AFCON. Was it going to hold this year? Of course, it's the 2024 women's AFCON, so you would be expecting that it would hold this year. But it's been looking like it was not going to hold this year, and now we finally know that it's not going to hold this year. It's actually going to be held next year, July the 5th to July the 26th. It's going to be hosted in Morocco once again. And for the Super Falcons, it was just one round of qualifiers. They got past Cape Verde, and that was it. But I'm pretty sure they're one of the teams that can't wait for this competition. Of course, the way things went down in the last edition, the semifinal loss to Morocco, the loss to Zambia in the third place match, they'll definitely want to right those wrongs in this competition. Let me know your thoughts on these two situations right here. Flamingos of Nigeria know their opponents for the upcoming FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup. Also, the women's AFCON finally gets a date. Will be hosted next year. Let me know your thoughts about those two topics. Put them in the comment section. And please don't forget to like this video. Thank y'all for watching. What about